Hi everyone. Today we're looking at just a few of the fantastic features in our new release Liberty version 5, build 8, patch 43. Our latest release adds some great new features and improves our existing offering. Today we're going to look at our updated interests module. I'll also show you some great feature enhancements in our cataloging, reporting and integration areas. I'll also show you some new features on the OPAC. If you'd like more detailed information about this or any of our releases, they're found up in the help menu. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, wait, before I get stuck in, I just wanted to let you know that our previous releases, Build 8, Patch 41 and 42, have their release notes up in our help guides. These releases contained mostly minor bug fixes. Okay, on to our release. Let's kick things off with improvements to the catalogue. Now, we've improved the multi-select capabilities when there are many options to choose from in any of your custom list files. Now, to show you what I mean, I need to pop into our management area of Liberty. I'm off to cataloging and then resources. I can give you an example here. I'm going to bring up a list of resources and pick a monograph. I'll edit this resource detail and I'll be able to show you the changes that we've made. I've set up a little example further down here. Let me just skip down to it. So here I've got some multi-select lists. Now this is the first type that we have where you hold control down if you'd like to make multiple selections. That's our existing functionality. Our new functionality means we've created an area where it will populate from a list. So you can choose from a list as it appears here. Or you can start typing and it will complete a starts with search and I can choose from the list like that. This is a handy little feature that we've added which can be enabled under page editing. If this sounds like something you'd like turned on, contact our customer support team to step you through the process. What else have we got? Well, we've added some new federated search sources via Gale Cengage. These can be found under System Search Sources. Let me bring them up. So we'll go in here and I'll just search for the ones that are only from Gale Cengage. Now, as you can see, there's some great sources here from fields such as literature, business, National Geographic, media, law, and history. Now, just remember to access these, there may be subscriptions required. And if you love our federated search as much as we do, and you now have more than 10 sources and you'd like more, give our customer care team a call. Speaking of integrations, we've added support for Liberty to act as an OAI-PMH data provider, allowing the system to share cataloging metadata with other entities or organisations. There are a few things to keep in mind. This setup for OAI-PMH is as a data provider only. Harvesting support is not included. This can be used as an alternative for automatic MARC exports. This functionality is disabled by default, and if you wish to enable it, the changes sit under parameters 8200, 8201 and 8202. For more information about OAI-PMH, please visit their website. The details are on the screen. Okay, next up, OPAC Colours. This is one of my favourite little things that have come up in this release. The OPAC search background colour can be changed when there's no image or banner up the top. This is the area here you can see as white space. It can be changed using the interface setup wizard or by modifying parameter 1148. I'm going to change it using the setup wizard and I'll show you where you can do that. Here we are at background. I'm going to change this to a nice bright colour so you can see the difference when we save it. The parameter default has also been changed to light grey. So if you haven't got around to getting your banner up or your company logos up, you've still got a chance to do some really nice corporate branding by changing the banner background colour. And there we go. We've changed it to a different colour. Hopefully this will help you get some corporate themes and colours up onto your LMS. Okay, what's up next? Let's have a look at some reporting. We've added a great new feature to our scheduled reports. You can now update the dates present in the search query each time the search runs using our new rolling date field. This means that once set up, you can see what's changed in the system for resources, loans, copies, or borrowers. This new report covers resources, copies, loans, and borrowers and can be set up using the AnyWord search query. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to show you an example using resources. Here I am in my AnyWord search area, and I'd like to see what resources I added for the month of January. Now here's my search query. And what I'm looking for here is a rolling time entered between 1 January, so you can see that here, and a rolling time less than, let's keep going, 31 January. So let's see what we get. And here are my resources. I added 6 resources in the month of January. Now, here's where our great new feature comes in. If I wanted to report on this like I normally would, I can do it like this. I'll choose my report format and run the report. So here's an example of the standard report that I would receive and the 6 resources that I added in January. Now, our great new feature, rolling date or rolling time entered, means that when the report runs next month, the query will automatically be updated to find new resources added since the 1st of February. Let me show you how that would look. So we'll set up our scheduled report. Okay, back here we choose the option to schedule the report. Now, we're going to schedule the report to continue to run on the 1st of every month. Let's give it a name. I'm going to call it my new monthly report for resources added. I'm going to choose how I'd like to be notified for this, and I'd like an email with an attachment. I would like this report to run monthly, and I'd like it on the 1st day of every month. I'd like this report to start, let's say for argument's sake, on the 1st of February. And I don't want an end date. So now that I've saved this report, what I'm going to get next month is a list of all the new resources that I've added since the 1st of February. So let's imagine we've got a time machine and I've already travelled into February. Here is what my report would look like for the month of February. So you can see theoretically I added 1 resource. Now, when the report rolls over for the following month, I'm going to only get the resources that I added in March. So let's have a look. Here we are, 2 resources I hypothetically added in March. That is our rolling field at work. I think you'll agree it's a pretty cool feature to our already amazingly powerful reporting suite. Okay, the Enhanced Interests Alert feature is the main focus of this release. While already impressive, this interest alerting email feature is now even better. Once upgraded, you can look forward to a dashboard that now includes the alert schedule, bulk updating of borrowers to all from interests, advanced configurable delivery groups where emails can be scheduled, for example, multiple times a day or on certain days of the week. Email tracking, which enables the library to report on how many links have been clicked. Email previews, priority sorting, and a condensed report format for high volume alerts. Let's check it out. I'll meet you over at Circulation and our new Interests homepage. Now, the first thing you'll notice here is the new layout. This layout means we can see all of the relevant elements related to creating our interests alerting emails in the one screen. Here we've got links to delivery groups, interest groups, and interests. And on the bottom of the screen, we've got statistics on the number of delivery groups, or interests that we have. Here we have a schedule for the delivery groups that have been run for today. I was talking about delivery groups earlier. This is new to our version of Liberty. Delivery groups are a new concept and they're templates that define when interests are delivered. They allow the configuration of the schedule, frequency and report format of the email notifications your borrowers will receive. These delivery groups do have some set as a system default, but for today, I'd like to show you how to create a new one. A delivery group needs a name, so let's give this one a name. I'm going to call it my weekly news roundup. The next thing I need to do is choose the report format. Now there are quite a few to choose from, and the changes in them may be subtle, but they do relate to the way that priorities are set. For the purposes of this example, I'm choosing the high volume layout. The run frequency sets to a default of daily with housekeeping. With this new version of Liberty though, and our new delivery groups, we can create a run frequency that suits us. Let's choose weekly. I can choose the days on which I'd like it to run. So let's say Wednesday and Friday. I can also choose my run time. Now this will have to be input in 24-hour time format. So for this one, if I wanted it to run at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd make it 1300. Click on the plus and add it to the list. You can also nominate a specific subject for this particular delivery group. If you don't nominate a subject, the default will be My Interests Update. I'm just going to choose the same name that I've given the delivery group, Weekly News Roundup. That's all I need to enter, and I can click Save. And here's a summary of the delivery group I've just created. Now, back at the My Interest homepage, I can see that under Delivery Groups, we've created this fourth delivery group called Weekly News Roundup. Here we are back on the Interests homepage. The next part of creating my interest alerts will be to create an interest group. They're required to link shared interests to borrowers. They can be subscribed to this either individually or in bulk. Now, you must create the group first before you can link a shared interest to them. Here's a list of the interest groups I have sitting in my system. I'm going to create a new one. This one I'm going to call my Law Update. The delivery group I'd like to assign is the one I just created in my Weekly News Roundup. I can also assign a priority to this interest group. Now, choosing a priority will result in the interest or interest group being displayed earlier or later in the notification email. We have 6 to choose from, and for the purposes of this example, I'm choosing 1. I'll now click Save. I've now created my interest group, so I need to add some interests, and I can do that by clicking Edit. Interests that already exist within the system can be added through this feature, but if you do need to create new ones, I'll show you how to do that shortly. I'm going to go ahead and add some interests in just here. I've got these 3 interests now rolled up into an interest group for my Law Update. Click on Save and they're all done. The next step would be to create any interests that are missing or interests that we've been asked to create, and you can do that under Interests. I'll create both shared and private interests today. so you can see some of our new functionality. Here's a list of interests that we currently have sitting in the system. We saw those just before. As you can see, some of these are shared and some are private. The first interest I'm going to create is a private interest. I've had a request from a borrower to let them know anytime we have new cookbooks coming into the library. I'm going to create a private interest for this borrower. I'm going to build a query using our new query builder. This means you're able to build a powerful Boolean search across quite a few fields. We can build a query using any of these: words, author, document, description, genre, subject, to name but a few. I'm going to choose subject because I'm looking for something specifically related to cooking. Now you can see one of the other great features that's new about our query builder is the preemptive text style search. Anything that starts with the word COOKING will come up in the list here, and I'm able to choose from it. I'm going to keep it broad and just choose cooking. Now you're able to add multiple rows to this query. So for example, I could now add an AnyWords query for, say, recipes. I could also perhaps add in the word, let me just add cookbook. Now, if any resources come in that match this query, my borrower will be alerted. I can build my query, which lets me see exactly what the Boolean search looks like. You can see that here. Now, this is not a shared interest, it's private, so I'll need to nominate a borrower to associate it with. I can add additional email addresses here that the notification can go to. And I can choose an interest delivery group for this interest. I'll choose weekend reading. The last date that the query was run needs to be nominated, and I'm going to choose this date here. In this area, I can also assign a priority to this interest. We talked about these earlier. I'm going to nominate a standard priority for this. It just determines the order that the interests are displayed in the notification email. Once I'm happy with this new private interest, I can click on Save and my interest will be saved here. One of the other features we've added to this release of Liberty is an option to view all matching resources. Clicking on this link lets me see all of the resources that match the query I just created for my borrower. I'm just going to head back to my interest. Okay, so I created a private interest for my borrower. Let's create a shared one. Back to the interests homepage. I'm going to create a shared interest, and I think I'd like to create one that provides an update to some of my borrowers. I've got a particular word in mind that I'd like to build my query around, and let's say it's the words legal and law. I'm going to add a second row to this query because I'd like to limit the subject. So I'm going to limit it to the subject of legal. Now build my query to confirm I'm getting exactly what I want, and that is what I'm after. Now this is a shared interest, so yep, tick that. And any additional emails if I need go in here, that's the same. Nominate an interest group to add this one to, and I've got one called my law update. I can choose that here. And when I do that, you can see the delivery group has already been pre-populated. Nominate the date that the last query was run, make it the week before. And I'm going to make this a high priority. I want it to appear at the top of the notification emails. Click on Save, and I've created a shared interest for my law update. Now, let's see how we add borrowers to the interests that we've created. Under the Interests area, we've added an option where you're able to manage borrowers directly from the interests. I'll show you what I mean. Let me choose an interest here, and you'll notice there's an option to manage borrowers. If I'd like to remove borrowers from this interest, all I need to do is click in the area nominated as Remove, and X appears, and they'll be removed. Adding borrowers is just as easy. I can search for them here and they'll appear in the list. Let's add some more. One more. Once I'm happy with these changes, I can click on Save. That's another way that you can manage borrowers in your interests. As we've seen, staff can add borrowers to interests individually or in bulk. Whenever resources are added to the catalogue that match any of these established interests, emails will be sent out according to the delivery group or the borrower's preferred frequency. So, once you've got these emails heading out, giving your borrowers all of those fantastic updates that match their interests, what about reporting? Well, you know it wouldn't be a Liberty update if we didn't bring you a fantastic report so that you can track what's happening. Over here, under Circulation and then Reports, we've created a fantastic new report to help you gather statistics on your interests. It's our Interest Statistics Report. Let's run it. I'm going to run the report and just choose a really broad date range. I want to collect as much information as I can. This is my test system. Okay, once the report has run, I will download it. I'll launch it in Excel. And now you'll be able to see what my interest notification email clicks report looks like. You can see that it will detail the date that the email was sent, the date it was clicked, who was having a look, and what they were looking at. I'm sure you'll agree there's some great information in this report. But guys, that just about wraps up what I've got for you today in our new release. We covered quite a bit, didn't we? There's plenty in this new release, from changes and enhancements to cataloguing, reporting, integration features, our OPAC, and of course, interests. As always, our support team is ready to help if you need it. That's all for me today. Thank you for watching our latest release video. I hope you find it useful.